We are live. Alrighty. Hey, everybody. I'm Rob the Builder. Can we build it? Yes, we can. How you doing, David? Alrighty. Today we are getting onto the Boss Mustang. I would say something. I'd say undercarriage is the geo. There is a bit of interior. I made a horror discovery on part of the. Well, it's not horror, annoying. Is what it is. You'll see. But that's an easy fix up, and then we get on to other detailing. And before I start, I have a horror story to tell, but it's not that horrid either. What it is I was cleaning the 109 stuff off the table, and I dropped the plinth that had the seat backing and floor glued together on it, and I haven't been able to find the seat yet. Now, that's not disastrous, as I have a shitload of 109s. I can just grab another seat and fix it, but I haven't been able to find it yet, although I haven't gotten down on the floor yet. These are the things. Now, before we start, we all know the drill, peeps. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. All right, round we come. Get a bit of clarity on that if we can. There we go. Now. We will start, I think, with, and depending on how you get on, I discovered that there was another bit of tape I'd missed on this interior, which is very annoying. Not unfixable, just annoying. It's okay, I figure. So what we'll do before we get on to other parts is we shall touch up one of the colours there. Now I'm thinking we'll go for the German field grey, maybe. That'll do it. Just tidy up that middle area, that area down the edge. Then we'll put that aside. Then, now while I'm doing that colour, is there any other touch-ups I need on that colour? I might as well as find out. Hey, guys. I don't think there are. Wait, a little touch there. Maybe I'll get the goggles onto it. Then we'll get down to other nitty-gritties, because we can start detailing all this sort of stuff. That's right. We were going to get stuck into our springs. We've got them set up on our springs as well, I recall now. I remember now. So all the stuff we're going to be working on will be this sort of thing. All of these. And I don't reckon we'd even finished all the chassis black stuff. We'll check that out in due course as well. All right. Now. So. No, we had not finished all the chassis black stuff, I can confirm right now. And the reason I can confirm that is because this is one of the things that requires chassis black. Yes, it is. Now, give me a moment. I want to just check something about this steering wheel. Beedly. So it is F. Yep. Okay, everyone might give that steering wheel a bit of a tidy up as well. Yeah. Alrighty. German field grey. Shake. Yeah, seat's been ejected. Yes, but we'll, like I said, we'll tidy this up just a little bit. Won't hurt. Well, not a little. It's got to be done. But there are a couple of other spots I wouldn't mind making a little nicer anyway. So we'll get that achieved as well. A couple of little spots here are needed. Very little spots, I hasten to add. But that's fine. And then I guess we might as well finish all the stuff that we want to make chassis black. So we'll do that. And I'll get chassis black on hand. For convenience, I shall. Chassis black. Now, that's probably ready to go, I would suggest. Yeah, it's looking nice. All right. Excuse me. Oh dear, that was an unhealthy sounding cough. Now, not merely unhealthy sounding, unhealthy feeling. Dear me. Now. We shall, after I've poured the paint, I might get a bit of paper towel conveniently on hand, because if I make a mess, excuse me a moment. I don't know if it's just me who gets a bit of itchy ear action on the with headsets, but yeah, just had a bit of, as I said, itchy ear action. Sounds like some sort of sports thing. Itchy ear action. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, here would be a big cheesy grin from the big man. If you can name the sports broadcast that uses that little tune. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. See if you can get your noggin around that one. Most Australians probably would. Now, I'll get some goggles on just because. Now, we shall. I'll move you guys around a bit. Now, are you going to get in the way of my shoulder? Probably. All right, let's tidy this up. What you're witnessing here is the downside of using clear tape to mask with. Now we'll come across the back again, just because. And in fact, we can quite happily Actually, if you do this right, it'll come up looking better for these little bits of effort. There should be a little dark stream down here. There isn't there at the moment. Now, once I've done this little area down the back there, a little stripe sort of a thing. Well, not a stripe, it's a strip of hard surface, I would suggest. And I don't know if it'd be plastic, it might be. Whatever the hell it would be. The stuff that goes at the back of I've gotten too heavy-handed there, never mind. Do a bit of a touch. There's plenty of time to do these little tidy-ups. Just yeah, that probably should be dark grey, or this very dark grey all the way across there, actually, because that is the back of the seats. That makes sense, in fact. Yeah, that will overall look better in the end, I think, having done that. Now, give me a moment as I need to blow my nose. I'll put you on mute. Now, that question I posed earlier as to that piece of music that was used in an Australian sports broadcast, that's usually used for our cricket broadcasts. I think it's still used. I haven't watched Test match cricket in a while, but pretty much any time there was a broadcast on Channel 9, as best as I can remember. That's very dramatic music, and then the images that come up with wickets being taken. Very triumphant sounding. Yeah. Now, when I've done this, the little spots I need to do on the dash, I'm going to go for a smaller brush. And with this as well, it's worth making mention that I don't mind being a bit clumsy with this. I prefer to keep it clear of where I want the jet black to go. But at the end of the day, I've still got to put the jet black on to cover this other area, so it's not such a travesty if I make a little digression. So yeah, once I get this edge tidied up, I will give you and indeed the mid-central column area too, for that matter. I'll give you a quick zoom in on one. And yeah, that's better. Well, of course it is. It's not meant to be white there, but you can see it's going to look nice when the time comes. Yeah, we're pretty solid there. Good. Good, good, good. And finally, just a little line along here. Oops, that's a bit too chunky. That's all right. Got away with most of that. All right. So, I know what I haven't done. The central area that needs tidying up. So we'll do that. All right. This thumb's giving me that going to sleep thing again. Give me a moment. I'll just loosen that up. There we go. I think it's starting to come on. Stop that knees bent advancing behavior. Come on. There we go. Come on. There we go. Sorry about that. Yes. All right. If we're going to get a much nicer going over this a second time is definitely a winner. I mean, you should always do 2 coats anyway, really. I remember years ago seeing this. Here we're going to go for a very big blast from the past now. Mad Magazine cartoon. And it's amazing the shit you remember sometimes. At least I find it is. And basically it was the light. I can't remember what it was, the lighter side. I think they had just a lighter side of it. It was these different subjects and had these 2 guys on holiday with their wives. They obviously knew each other. And once they're discussing their respective home renovations. And how you got to use 2 coats, otherwise, it just looks thin and patchy. And they're in the Sistine Chapel, and the wives come up and start berating them for paying more, just talking more about what goes on at home than actually paying any attention to the tour. One of them hits him with, "Did you know it took this guy?" By the way, correction, quick little addendum. I'm unsure if it's 5 or 8 years that Michelangelo did for the Sistine Chapel, however many years is. I'll say 5 because I can't remember exactly. Do you know some guy spent 5 years on his back painting this ceiling? One of the husbands looks over and goes, "Yeah, but did he use 1 or 2 coats?" And I don't know why I remember that particular cartoon. As a scale modeler, it talks to me. Yes, it does. Now, next. Into there. Just to tidy that, make that really sweet. Yeah, that's going to look much better for that. Just those little things. Now we'll do that central pillar. At some stage along the way, we will tidy up that other seat because, well, it's got to be done, doesn't it? But that's fine. Now, and there are a couple of spots just at the back here in the dark grey I need to tidy up. But that is fine. Now, give me a moment here. Yeah, but that's how it should look. Much nicer. Well worth putting the time on. This little area too. It does have colour, but it's inconsistent and therefore yucky. I believe that's the technical term. Yucky. Now, into here. There we go. Actually, I'm much happy with how that central area is looking. Yeah. Yeah. Now. And that's quite adequate. All right. Now, what we'll do, and something I'm going to, there's a couple of spots there I have a bit of a extra pick with just to make sure there's no, before I go and finish the painting on this, but hang on, I can. Give me a moment. So you can see we've got a much nicer, and then when we finish our leather black, that's going to look very nice. Boom. Now we'll do a couple of other bits in this color. Before we get onto the chassis black, and they are first, and I don't need my goggles, or maybe I do. Do I? Nah. Actually, I will. Just notice something, and I will feel much happier if I just can be sure of what I'm seeing. There we go. There was a couple of little spots that would be more beneficial if I could there we go. Now, this is that's what I saw. There we go. This is the steering wheel. It actually comes with decals all of its own. And The outer area is actually a moment, wooden I'll give you a quick zoom in on that, just so as you can see it. You can see what I'm waffling about. And then I'm going to clean this brush. No, I'm going to clean this brush first, then I'll zoom in. Then we're going to go for a very small brush for about 2 very tiny points on our dash. Then we're going to get a big brush and slap the central console around. And then we'll get on to chassis black. Yes, we shall. Oops, where are you off to? I ask you. If you didn't see that, I actually dropped my piece of paper towel. Now, let's brush. Healing. There we go. That easy. We have, there's a steering wheel. Now, the outer area actually needs to be a wooden color. All in good time. That's going to be a bit tricksy to get the full grain effect going, though. I have to work on that. I know how I normally do it, but it normally requires a bit more area to work with. We'll see how we go. Anyway, now, what I might do, actually, I'll do the big area first, because that's actually this, as in big area. Get a big brush and just slap over the central console, just to give it a second coat and make it look a bit nicer, just because. That's my take on it, just because. And as it is in front of me now, it's as good as a time as any. That's my theory. Not that you might be picking this piece up to hit some stuff with chassis black. I can tell you right now we will be. But while I'm doing this color, this is the part I'm looking at. All right. All right. So right. That's that done. Clean this one. Little bit of work on our, like, I'll talk about 2, like, when I say I'm not even going to be doing full brush strokes, I'm just going to be touch, touch, and that'll be it, sort of style. Now, next, There we go. Now, very sharp brush required. This one looks suited to the occasion. Goggles. Right. I have you now. Now, there's one spot here I can actually see that requires a bit of a chrome addition, but that's something we'll worry about on another day. And we're going to just come round. That's tidy. That's how that should be. Now, yeah, there, there. How tidy is that? Pretty tidy. All right. Touch more paint. Yeah, that's actually quite a lot more accurate. That's better. There we go. Aha! All right. Now, do I need to do any on the other button? Maybe just a touch. Now, am I good up here? Yep. Although if I wanted to be very particular, and of course that means I do, I will very quickly just a little spot here. There we are. Not quite yet. All right. Yep, nice. I will put a bit of tidy up work just as a second coat of dark grey there when I do the touch-ups on the other areas. Now, I think I was largely happy with, not quite. Before I put this paint or this colour away, I will also check that there's nothing to be done on the doors here because that's the same colour. Now, our dash. Actually, no, I'll finish just check the doors and then I'll maybe a little just there. There we go. And yeah. All right, and here we have wouldn't mind reinforcing that little spot just there. These ones are a bit better because they're airbrushed. Which can make quite the difference. And I'm going to also use this brush. It's like a little drop almost. Much. Just in here. If I pull up as well with my brush, that'll mean should mean I won't go in. Therefore, what we'll do nice, is create a clear line between, I need just a little bit more there. I'll zoom in on what's happened here shortly. Yes, nice. Yeah, we'll do exactly the same there. Now, might as well come from the same side, as that is my preferred angle. Yeah, that's good. So we go into our gap. Yeah, that's much better to haven't achieved that. It's a small little detail that I'm doing here, but I reckon once it's in, yeah, definitely worth it, having done. I think you'll agree once you see it up close. Yeah. Maybe is there any touch-ups? No, I think I've not, hang on. Maybe one little one there, but not from what I've just done. All right. All right. Clean brush, then I'll show you what we've just done on the dash and on the doors. Then it's chassis black time. Now, it's quite a bit of chassis black to be done. First thing we'll hit is the battery. Actually, what we might want to do, give me a moment. Now, I know the battery is one part that needs to be chassis black. We're going to identify any others. Put them aside, then nail them. That's the bottom line here. Nail them. Nail sense into them, I say. There we go. Now, flick that over. Pop this into, oh, that's convenient. We'll use that for the chassis black. Here. All right. So what we just did there is, give me a moment to get the, this is actually the bottom of the box of the 109. It's great as a backing thing to do. This is what we've just done. Now, because it blots out everything else, so we can just zoom on in. Right. So we've done our little touch-ups on the, let's see if I can get that a bit clearer. Basically, we just went around those to make them a little more spherical. Hang on a moment, just dropping that. A little more circular. Tidied it up. So that's that. And what we did on this that I kind of liked the way it came up when I saw it. Am I going to need to hit the... Oh, stop that. I did that... the gap between the top, that there's a little line, hang on, that goes along there, and I filled that with that German grey to create a bit of a, doesn't show as nicely as I thought it might. Maybe it'll show us more kindly on this one. But yeah, the idea is, or was, that, there we go. You can see how it's got a nice, clean, defined edge there that leads nicely and smoothly into the black with the dark grey as the immediate point of bang. Outdoors. So, zoom out. All right, pop this over to here. Mouthful of goggles off. And mouthful of coffee required. Oh, that's the stuff. Now, there'll be a few bits on here that require chassis black, one of which is, as I said, the battery. Let's have a look at what else. Just knocked my goggles into the box of stuff. Now, some of this will already have been done. This I know. Bang, see you later, done. 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 Ooh. Now, boys and girls. Ooh, tricksy. Okay. Now, this is a bit of detailing. They're saying, why are there 5? Spare one, I guess. It's the only reason I can think. They've got 5 wheel things here. That's a bit weird. Never mind. I'm going to go jet black on those, so we'll consider that not being a now the battery 95. It's just that top area, I believe. Yeah, okay. No, it's the side area. I'll have to track that part down. C95. Done. Oh, wow. Well, that's a bit good, kids. All right. Well, it's looking very much. Might need to just check out where we're at with our air filter. I think we've got that done. And 7. Okay. So there's only a couple of parts we need to locate, in fact, to get this done, and also we need to do the battery. Let me just see if I can find our parts quite easily, and I wouldn't mind doing a little bit of work on our pedals. All right, so we're looking for part 7. That's not going to be on that part, I can tell you that right now. Let's bring our box over. Now, we can check our... Don't need that right now. Maybe a slap around there. A couple of spots wouldn't hurt. Just give it a bit of love with a big brush. We'll do that. Let's have a look here. I can almost guarantee that at least one of the parts we require is on here. Let's have a look. What was that little part number? There's a weird little thing we need to do. You've got looking for part 7, which is completely 6 and 7 perhaps. And I think it was part 92 was the other one. Give me a moment. Part 92, looking. Yeah, here we go. No, we don't. Oh, where's it gone? Part 95. We are looking for 93, 94. Oh, stop. Don't tease me like that. This is only 95. Found it. This one here. Okay. And it is mostly just that little area there. Okay. But we found that one. We also want 6 and 7, I believe. And then we, once I've located 6 and 7, that's our chassis black done. And there will be much rejoicing. Now, I'm going to look quickly for 6 and 7. When it starts becoming a bit of a saga, I'll just get on with business and worry about them later. I'm going to take these out, so I wouldn't mind just adding our little chrome effect on them at some stage, possibly after the chassis black. Not finding the parts I'm looking for. Hang on a moment, maybe they're here. Oh, here we go. 6 and 7. Boom. Nice and easy. All right. Then we'll pop that over to here. That to there. Just confirm that we have. Looky at that. All right. We're getting places, boys and girls. Now, one thing I could do, potentially, I could do that little effect I want to add on these cylinder heads right now. Oh, not cylinders, rocker covers. Right now, I've got two options on this. I can actually probably give that another coating of aluminium first. We'll do that later. Chassis black. Boom. I might give you a bit more of a zoom out. Now I'll crack out the big brush first, because I want to just do some tidy ups on this. I might as well have a bit of a goosey gander at any bits of chassis black on big stuff. Just by big stuff, I'm talking about more. How's this one looking? Just check it over. If I'm going to do this colour, I may as well as do any tidy ups while I'm at it. But they're all mostly looking pretty solid. Yeah, but good. Wouldn't mind tidying that up a little. Alright. No, we don't need that one. Oh, no, we're good. Alright. Sorry, guys, a bit distracted by stuff off camera. In terms of knocking things off and the like. Alrighty. Now. Once we've gotten all this interior stuff done, and undercarriage and all that, I think we're going to be good to commence assembly. Now, and I don't actually know. Well, yes, but no. One of the things we can do is we can airbrush our hull before we start full assembly, and then it just gets very easy, I think. Now, I wouldn't mind airbrushing the hull fairly soon. I'll probably do the yellow first. The question would be, when do I wish to do it? Could do it tomorrow. No, there'll be a whole stack of masking required on some parts, at least. Anyway, let's nail out this chassis black, shall we? Just, yeah, that would have shown very badly. There we go. Yeah, you can see there's a point where this needs to be given these little bits of love, just to really bring it up to speed. I've been a bit sloppy with my airbrushing. This was when the airbrush wasn't operating properly because of my own clumsy cleaning. And so I think I was a bit lackadaisical, but I was certainly thinking that it was doing a better job than it was. So we'll fix all that, shall we? Make it look nice and pretty. Yeah, this requires a lot. I could conceivably even crack the airbrush out for this. But what I'd probably prefer to do, given that I've already started this little saga, is just to finish the job. It's more in these little areas here that the problems are. There we go. There we go. Yeah, it's going to look much nicer for that. Yeah. Then we're going to come into here. Dear me. I'm actually a little... I have a concern right now that's nothing to do with the actual modelling. It's... my stomach's making all manner of noises, and I have a bad feeling it may even come out on the microphone. It's that vigorous. Should probably get something to eat afterwards. All right. Into there. All right. All right. All right. There we go. That's looking much tidier already. Now I need to do a bit up this front end. This is before we even get to those bits that need the detailing on it. I'll tell you what though. I reckon. Now, what is the actual time here in Australia? That can't be right. No, it's not right. It's 7 o'clock. Yeah. So, I could quite probably continue and make sure that I complete this colour, because it's actually still quite early here in Australia. This is probably one of the, I guess, advantages of the swap from to daylight savings on both sides, is that it requires that I get up and start streaming early. And in doing that, it necessitates or necessarily follows that when I finish, it will also be early, which gives you more time to write, exercise, do whatever, you know. And this is good. It also means that I am my early appointment. I like to get my appointments done early in the day, just so as they're well done. And the thing being, of course, that's all well and good. But point being that because even if I finish early, it'll still be before probably everything's open. Give me time to get ready. It just makes it that bit easier. All right. There we go. Into there. Right, now it's looking nicer. Still got to do that side though. But it's definitely looking the way it should now. Nice and solid. This is what you want. This is what you want. This is what you get. This is what you want. This is what you get. So I see Mr. Lydon is disapproving of the current Sex Pistols conduct. I believe he thinks they've had it all watered down and become crap. He may be right. I don't know what the punk movement ever had to do with Disney, but hey, here we are. But I think it's to do with the TV. There's a movie they're making about him, and he's just gone, "Are you for real?" It's all very watered down. You got to say, you tell the Sex Pistol story true. There's a whole stack of non-Disney appropriate stuff going to happen there. You're talking about guys like Sid Vicious, who died of a heroin overdose after murdering his girlfriend. Yeah, right, yeah. You know. But yeah, there we go. If you're wondering where this came from, for those who are unaware, the "This is what you want, this is what you get" was a song put out by Public Image Limited, which was the outfit that Johnny Lydon, aka Johnny Rotten, was in or created post Sex Pistols, or at least it was one of them. Don't know if he did any others. And yeah, that was the big lyric. This is what you want, this is what you get. He also did This Is Not a Love Song. If you know that one. This is not a love song. Yeah, let's face it, singing was never the man's strong suit, but yeah. Yeah, to make himself money, I'll give him that. Now, all of that's smooth. Excellent. Yeah, now we're getting there, kids. Now we're getting there. Starting to look much nicer. These little bits of love. Into here. Now. hand's going to sleep again. Although I'm less surprised in this instance because it's a bit of a Orkie's position. Let me just get my hand to loosen up a moment. Why the hell is there a bit of black paint on that aluminium there? That matters less in terms of that's an undercoat anyway. How the hell did that happen? I've obviously been a bit clumsy somehow. That's annoying. I'm not going to bother covering it up because there's going to be a couple of coats of yellow go onto that anyway. Well, I might. I don't know. You'll see. Actually, odds are I probably will get to give it a quick slap. But when I'm doing some other aluminium, because I know I need to at some stage. There we go. That's better. All right. Oh, bloody hand. Now, after this, actually, I just noticed a few other bits we can make a bit nicer, perhaps. But I'd rather do some of the other detailing. And very good. Into there, just one last little few touches. Just to make it all sweet, neat and petite and be absolutely rock solid. And then yeah, that's nice. Now, yeah, that'll make sure it's all very pretty. Into there. All right. And this is more to do with just making sure that, because there's a bit that, in fact, we're going to pop this up over there. Now, this would be okay for us to put upside down because we should also just into here, because that is an area that shows. We'll just beautify that a bit with our chassis black in the relevant spots. Make that look nice and solid. And then yes, I remember now. Now, All right. Yeah, that's looking much nicer. In my experience, it's these little things that you think. Yes, there we go. Look at that. Nice solid colour. That's what you want. Bring it around here a bit more, just to be sure that that's all sweet, reet, and petite. That doesn't really show too much, though, I don't think. We'll just take it all the way down here. Boom. All right. Next, we were cleaning the brush. Actually, while I'm here, hang on. Yeah, we can make them look nicer. And we shall. I'll go fairly close. And when it comes to getting close to the right in with the blue there, that's nice. We will hit that accordingly with a smaller brush. And at the same time, when we do the other deep, Jesus, having a bit of a time on it here with on the desk today with minor incidents. There we go. All right. Now. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Clean brush. Then we're going to go for a smaller brush. We are. And we're going to. Oh, actually, wait. Get out. Here's another bigger piece. I could use this brush on as well, actually. Because some of this needs a bit of tidying up. And then there's two bits here that would benefit from this size of brush. There we go. All right. All right. There we go. That chassis color's looking much nicer there. Pop that over to here. All right. Now there's two pieces here. These two that require chassis black. Then we go for the smaller brush with the chassis black. There's a couple of bits that need to be oh, sorry, I should have been paying more attention there. Hey Manuel, how you doing? That's what I should do. The ones we're doing are... Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go. Into there. This will require a second coat, guarantee you. Because, well, everything else has, so you know. Yeah. It's frustrating when the got a bit of surface tension action going there on some of the paint, because this requires a bit of a heavy application. Break up, damn you. Toothpick. That's the surface tension broken and fixed. Now, all right. Just do this side, that'll be them done. And then we can start getting a little bit more fine detail. Actually, something I might want to consider. Give me a moment. Doing the sides of the battery with this would probably be a good idea. They're really big. There we go. All right, so there we have him. And that is, let me just get my bit of card behind the thing. Just bring them. Done. Pop them. Where shall I pop them? Actually, wait, I'll hold on to them because might as well get stuck into the sides of the battery with this one. And then we're going to do a bit of more detailed work. Actually, another thing I need to hit with this one. Do these first, I reckon. Don't think I was entirely happy with these. Give me a moment. Hell with it, I'll do them regardless. It won't take us long. There we go. There we go. Yep. Make them, believe their suspension. And into there. All right. Don't need to worry about that. Do need to worry about that. There we go. Booful. All right. Next. Excuse me a moment there, guys. Just scratching my ears again. Battery. 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 I don't know the lyrics to Battery. I'm sure you're all very grateful for that. All right. Now. All right. Now. There we go. Get a nice solid colour going on the sides here. Because the top we're going to need to be a bit more accurate with. We're not going to want to use this brush for that. All right. Clean this brush. And then we're probably going to do a bit of, for want of a better choice. Now, give me a moment before I've got any other chassis black things here that would benefit from a slap around that I can do quickly and easily. Yeah, there's one. A couple of them. Okay. Might as well. Yes, now is the time, Kato. I'm possibly going to need to pour some more paint. Didn't think so before, but there you have it. Thought I had plenty. All right, just give it a quick slap around. Now, next, we are going to clean this brush. And we're going to go for a smaller one. And before we finish, probably a smaller one again. Now, Zoom out. All right, rinse brush. Yeah. All right. Next, we'll go for a reasonably crisp brush. Come here, you. Stop it with that knees bent advancing behaviour. We'll go, you know, I reckon a good friend Citadel. Goggles, though, would be handy. All right. Now, I'm thinking that once I've got this colour done, I just noticed something here. Give me a moment. I'll wind up the stream. Once I've got this colour complete, though. Because then we're just a step closer. And then it comes down to stuff like this, which will be different. They're going to be different colours altogether. Ah, yes. Now, here's another thing I wanted to do in chassis black very quickly. It's just the sides of these pedals. So you can see there's a couple of spots here. There we go. All right. So that's our pedals. Now what I wanted to do with this brush on the battery was try not to drop the parts, Rob. Dear, oh dear. Was around here. Around the top, that is. Now, as I'm going along, if I spot any problems on any areas missed on these, I'll just give my slap as I go along, sort of a thing. Anyway, now our battery. All right. Now, into there. Now we are definitely getting places. And we do indeed need to do something on the air filter. I'll come back to that in a minute. Now, I was also doing, yeah, that's what I was doing. Have I done that part? Yeah, all right. Now we're going to get a much smaller brush onto that to complete our battery. In the meantime, there's this. Wouldn't mind hitting. Just give it a bit of a freshen up. And where else was there? There. All right, and that's right, just there. All right, now that's what else I wanted to do with this brush in this color was some of these. What I'm basically doing is refreshing the fan belt wheels. They look nice and pretty. Yeah, totally worth it. And then now there was something else quite significant in this color I wanted to hit, and I'm trying to think what it was. That was it. It was the air filter. Now, there we go. All right, and I'll tidy up that dark grey too in due course. Next, pop that here. Now, air filter. It's up the front here, this way. Right, the very rim. Air filter over here. Oh yeah, easy. So bit unusual, I just thought, but that's how it goes apparently. So this is what we will do. Apparently this top little rim here is black. So, 'cause, 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 ' All right. That's interesting. The air filter actually isn't in the center, isn't centered. It's got a slightly different angle. It's not in the middle. The bolt, that is. Yeah. Around there. Around here. Once we've done round the inside, we can go, dare I say it, round the outside, round the outside. All right. We will, of course, be doing a second coat of blue anyway. I'd say just to really make, because, yeah, I'm appreciating really bringing up the vibrancy on some of these parts with the second coat. All right. Now it's starting to look quite pretty with that little tidy up. Yeah. Now we'll go round the outside, round the outside. Yeah, that's good. And then and we'll go about, there's the line. Oops. Got a bit carried away there. That's okay. We will fix. We will fix. All right. There we go. All right. So, what I've just done there, give you a quick zoom in. Then we'll clean the brush. And then we'll get onto a smaller brush. So what we've just achieved here being that circle of black around the top of the air filter. Also tidied that up just a little, make it look a bit nicer. And that as well. And I still need this part, don't I? Do I need this part? No, I do not. Because the battery is on that part. All right. Now zoom out. Goggles off. Clean brush. And then we are doing well, guys. We are. I will finish the battery now with a much finer brush, and probably get a bit up close and personal with some of the bits of the engine block, and as it goes through to now. Transmissions are only for automatics, I think. So what would that be? Drive shaft? I don't know. I don't know my mechanics that well. All right. Now, nice crisp brush is what we seek. Oh, yep. Oh, this is my new one. No wonder it looks so sexy. Tell you one of the things I like about this particular brush, and it's not the only one I have that has this capacity, but it's triangular. Oh, look at that. Doesn't roll away anywhere. Mouthful of coffee. And then I'll get onto this last bit of black that we need to do. Now, goggles. Yeah, goggle. Got them. There we go. That looks so much better. So much, boom, more solid in the color, you know. I'm sure you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. There we go. That's nice. There we go. That's what you want. This is what you want. All right. Now, yes. Now, we shall go into around there. All right. Ah. Now. So, if I come around from this angle now, into there we go. Whew. Oops. Almost there. Got a little bit clumsy on one spot, but I don't think that's going to matter too much because I think a decal goes there anyway. Whew. All right. Almost there. Now. Now. There we go. Around there. To there. Whew. Almost. Deary me, guys. I tell you, this battery's a bit funky, but I reckon it'll be worth the effort. Oops. Nailed one of the silver lids. Never mind. But on the whole, let me just go. Oops. It's coming along quite well. Might just give that a bit more of a slap across the top. Then we've only got one other part to attend to in this colour. All right. Now, at the moment, give me the car. I'll go. Actually, no. We'll do this little bit here first. Now, it was. Yeah. And it was just that little area there. All right. come around here. We're gonna come around here some more. Oh, yeah, I went there. Now we go into here. Up and around. And almost done. Then we can do a bit of a look-see at everything we've done today. I might, before winding up, put that chrome effect on the rocker covers. Although I do need to do some touch-ups in that colour anyway. So I might wait till then. We'll see how I feel once I've got this paint on. All right, now that goes to there. All right, goggles off. Yeah, I reckon I will do that little bit of work on the rocker covers, just because. That's all the reason I need, just because. Clean brush is not going to happen in water on its own on this one. Rinse. All right, now quick run through of doing that effect first. Then we are. I'll give you the walkthrough on what we've done today, because otherwise you're going to see it. Then you're going to see it again. Oh. I will do. I shall do, Manuel. Yeah, look, it's a good technique, and it can really do some joys for you. I'm a fan. Now, I usually use what I call one of my rough brushes, which is to say they've already taken a bit of wear and tear, you know. It's always good to have some of these brushes for just such an occasion. And you ain't carry traveling. Hopefully this will do it for us. Yeah. We're just going to go over here. A little more, I think. Wouldn't hurt. I'm told by someone who actually owns a Mustang that it's, when you look at the block, it's not that it's actually chromed, but it's almost as if they've sanded the tops, and it looks really clean. Very. Now, bearing in mind, I will also be applying. I'm going to be a little more vigorous with this straight dry. So wiping it off is being a little. Give me a moment. That's what I want. That's better. That's nice. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Need to be a bit more vigorous with it. That's fine. Oh, yeah, that's nice. All right, I'll give you a zoom in on that in due course too. All right, let's clean this brush. And then I'll give you a zoom in on everything we did today. It was actually quite a lot. Now, one of the big things I did today was tidy up the chassis black, where there was a bit of inconsistency and stuff like that. And they look a lot better. I tidied up the dash and the doors a bit. There's still a couple of little bits of work to be done on them, but you know, there's also decals coming. I've set up the battery for a few bits. You'll see all of this directly. Now, a lot of today was good consolidation work, actually. I'm pretty happy about that on its own. Now, let me get my piece of card that I find really advantageous for showing stuff. We'll start with there are our very shiny rocker covers. If you with a bit of chrome on that area there. But again, you don't want to be so heavy as it's actually full chrome effect. You just want them kind of shiny. You'll see they're a bit dull on the side with this normal aluminium. So there's our rocker covers. We tidied up the black on here to give it a bit more grunt, so to speak. And likewise there, we'll be tidying up some of the other colors in due course. Now, we did that. We did some tidying up on our foot pedals. We did our battery. I made a slight boo-boo on a couple of spots there, but they will be easy fixed. That little area there where I've made a slight error, I think there's a decal that covers all of that anyway. If not, we'll deal with that. Consolidated the steering wheel, did those, made the central console look solid. It's okay, sir, we're solid. We put a little bit of chassis black on. There's a part there, you're hardly going to see it. Yeah, there we go. Boom. But we did that one. We tidied up our doors. They're looking pretty swish at the moment without the decals. We tidied up our dash. Again, yet to have decals. There's a couple of little tidy ups, but mostly it's good. We tidied up part of our interior, but now we just got to tidy up the jet black and a little bit of dark brown, perhaps at the back here, but mostly ready to go. Also tidied up the chassis black under there. Tidied up the chassis black on here. And oh yeah, and this one probably definitely merits a close up. Put the chassis black on our air filter. We're going to tidy up this blue in due course, make that That might be a bit of a task for tomorrow, along the way of doing other stuff. All right. But at the end of the day, people, that is me done for this stream at least. There we go. Stop that. There we go. So that's me done, guys. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. I'll check out that a very busy session today, David. I got a lot done. I'm pretty happy. Tomorrow I want to, because what I've achieved today is a lot of consolidation work. I've gotten a lot of things really well set now that we can start going, right, here we go, bam, bam, bam. I reckon in the next few streams of the car, I reckon we'll be able to start assembly in about 4 or 5 streams, because once I get all the undercarriage done, the holes painted, it's on like Donkey Kong. Yes, again, thank you for watching. First-time viewers, you know the drill. Follow, like, or subscribe. What are you waiting for? Now, other platforms. I'm Rob the Builder on Facebook and YouTube. I'm Robster the Builder on Instagram and Twitch. And I should do some posts on Instagram. I've got a whole stack of, I've got 3 works in progress, for God's sake. Have I put up any pics of this? No, I'll do this. I've certainly got plenty I can show off, so why the hell wouldn't I? Now, tomorrow I'll be back. I'm going to aim for a similar sort of a time, because, well, that way it's not too late for you guys. It is early for me, but at the same time, I can work with that because it works out quite well for me in the final analysis. So I will be back at a similar time. Manuel, I'll get round to watching that vid later today. And now here's a question. The way you've spelled technique there, is that how you would spell it in Portuguese? Because I know that that's not too far removed from how you'd spell that in German. In English, you spell it slightly different. Doesn't really matter. We all know what we're talking about, technique. Things I wonder about. I wonder a lot about languages. I do. It's true. Anyway, I'll stop my waffling, and we'll call that done. All right. All that's really left for me to say, in fact, is that I'll be back tomorrow. We'll be continuing our work on the Boss Mustang. So all that I really need to convey is that I'll be back at a similar kit time and on the same kit channel. Hopefully I'll catch you people then. See yous. Yeah, see you, Manuel. See you, David. My pleasure.